Just now, in Omaha, two cars stopped at a red light and dropped into the earth without warning. The sinkhole measured 30 feet long, 50 feet wide, and 15 feet deep. In the last 10 days, sinkholes have swallowed vehicles in 3 American states, triggered a state of emergency, and exposed a crisis hiding beneath 2 million miles of road. In New Jersey, a dump truck sent to repair one sinkhole was swallowed by a second sinkhole 20 feet away. Then ground-penetrating radar revealed more voids spreading beneath the neighborhood. This is a real problem. 7 homes were declared unsafe. 100 houses lost power. 30 houses lost water. Families were evacuated with nothing. And in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, a $22 million emergency project just shut down a highway for 9 months because sinkholes keep opening in the same stretch of road, and no one can guarantee they will stop. But here is the detail that tells the real story. In Omaha, the city engineer and the agency that operates the water system are telling 2 different stories. The city says a broken water main eroded the ground beneath the road until there was nothing left to hold it up. The Metropolitan Utilities District says the road collapsed first and broke the water main. Both agree on one thing. There was no warning, no prior leak report, no pressure drop, no anomaly of any kind. The erosion had been happening invisibly for an unknown period of time beneath a busy intersection next to a university campus. And the city engineer admitted something that should keep every commuter in America awake tonight. The void they found could be connected through underground channels to other voids they have not found yet. It started in New Jersey. On Monday, February 16th, the pavement buckled at the intersection of Summit Avenue and Lewis Street in Phillipsburg, a small town in Warren County sitting directly on top of a limestone deposit. A car fell in. Then a garbage truck did too. Crews moved in to repair the damage. The next day, around 1 in the afternoon, the street collapsed again. A dump truck carrying asphalt to patch the first hole broke through the road into a second void, roughly 20 feet away. The truck slammed into a water main on the way down. Water service was cut off across the neighborhood. Mayor Randy Piazza Jr. declared a state of local emergency. That night, engineers rolled ground-penetrating radar across the surrounding streets. What they found was worse than what they could see. More voids had formed beneath the pavement, inching toward the sidewalks and toward the foundations of nearby homes. 7 houses were deemed unsafe. Firefighters went door to door, urging families to leave. 1 week later, on Tuesday, February 24th, at 3:30 in the afternoon Central Time, the intersection of 67th and Pacific Street in Omaha's exurban neighborhood simply gave way. A maroon Jeep, SUV, and a silver Dodge Ram pickup were stopped side by side at a red light. University of Nebraska, Omaha security cameras captured the entire sequence. The pavement dropped. Both vehicles plunged into the hole. Jonathan Inman, the driver of the Jeep, described the moment to reporters. He said it was not a sinking feeling, it was a fall. 1 second he was sitting at a traffic light, the next he was looking up from inside the earth trying to figure out how to climb out. He could not. There was nothing to step on. A UNO student named Callie Miller ran from her car, dialed 911, and reached into the hole to pull him up while other strangers rushed to help. The pickup driver climbed out on his own and joined the rescue. Neither driver was injured. That was luck. Inman later said that if either vehicle had been moving, or if the hole had opened in the opposite direction, it would have been much worse. Here is the problem that is not making headlines. 2 days later, Omaha City engineer Austin Rouser held a press conference. He said the collapse was caused by pressurized water leaking from a main beneath the street, silently eroding the soil until the pavement had nothing to rest on. He said subsurface water can act in various strange ways. You can see a void, but it could be connected by a small channel to another void. Hours later, the Metropolitan Utilities District released a statement pushing back. They said the road collapse caused the water main break, not the other way around. They said they had no record of a prior leak on that main. No complaints, no data, no signal. The ground had been hollowing out beneath one of Omaha's busiest intersections, steps from a university campus, and nobody knew. And that was only half the collision. 2 days after Omaha, on February 26, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation shut down the southbound lanes of Route 202 in King of Prussia for a $22.4 million sinkhole remediation project. This was not a new problem. Sinkholes have been opening on this stretch of highway since at least July 2023. One closure lasted months. PennDOT already spent 8 months rebuilding the northbound lanes, finishing just last November. Now they are drilling over 100 feet into the ground, punching through 10 feet of solid rock, and pumping pressurized grout into the earth to fill voids that keep forming beneath a road 2 miles from one of the largest shopping malls in America. The project will run until late fall. Businesses along the corridor are already losing customers. A barbershop owner named Jamie Dang told reporters he lost 7 appointments on the first day. But here is what no one is connecting. These are not isolated incidents, they are symptoms. The United States has approximately 2 million miles of underground water pipes. A study by Utah State University found that 260,000 of those mains break every year, costing $2.6 billion in repairs. 19% of all water mains in the country are past their useful life. That is 452,000 miles of pipe that should have been replaced and has not been. The average water main fails at age 53. The average replacement schedule is once every 200 years. The American Society of Civil Engineers gave U.S. drinking water infrastructure a C- in its 2025 report card. Stormwater got a D. The Environmental Protection Agency says the country needs $625 billion over the next 20 years just to reach a state of good repair. That number is 30% higher than the last estimate, and the total infrastructure investment gap has grown to $3.7 trillion. Then there is the detail that makes it worse. There is no federal map of sinkhole risk in the United States. None. A bill called the Sinkhole Mapping Act has been introduced in Congress 4 times since 2018. It passed the House last July. It is still waiting for a vote in the Senate. Representative Darren Soto of Florida, one of the bill's sponsors, told the House that sinkholes cost over $300 million per year in damage, and the country still does not have a comprehensive mapping system to help first responders or community planners. Meanwhile, insurance experts in New Jersey are now warning homeowners that standard policies do not cover sinkhole damage. It is a separate add-on. Most people do not have it. Most people do not know they need it. What happens next is the part no one can answer. In Omaha, the water main must be repaired before any roadwork can begin. Engineers are still trying to determine how far the void extends underground. The sinkhole could expand. In Phillipsburg, 8 homes are still waiting to be inspected before families can return. In King of Prussia, crews will be drilling for the rest of the year, and even PennDOT cannot promise this will be the last closure. In December, just 2 months ago, a 64-year-old grandmother named Elizabeth Pollard fell into a sinkhole in western Pennsylvania while searching for her cat. The hole opened above an abandoned coal mine that had not operated since 1952. Her 5-year-old granddaughter was found sleeping in the car 20 feet from the edge. It took 4 days and more than 24 fire departments to recover her body 30 feet below the surface. How many voids are forming right now beneath roads that passed inspection? How many water mains are silently eroding the ground under neighborhoods where families sleep? And how many times does the same bill have to be introduced in Congress before someone decides to find out what is underneath us? The ground beneath 3 states opened this month. The pipes are old, the maps do not exist, and the next sinkhole is already forming. We just do not know where.